Ruth said to Naomi, wherever you go, I go. Your people shall be my people. Your God, my God. And so you in church and you said I'm lifting up God, but that ain't who book you want to serve. Wow. So that's why you can't get your act together. Because you made a blood covenant with somebody that was not your spouse. But see, when you get married and you do it right, even if your spouse ain't right, it says that the wife sanctifies the husband. Yeah. And the husband sanctifies the wife ain't right. Yeah. So that's why you still gotta make sure. Even God honors marriage regardless. He honors marriage regardless. But all this other stuff we doing outside of marriage, you don't know what you walking around with every day. And you wonder why 13-year-olds is taking the life of their 2-year-old sister. Yeah. Wow, what was happening? Sexual intercourse. Amen. The spirit that the little boy had or was attached into his lineage or whatever jumped inside the little 13-year-old girl. She said her head started hurting. See? And that's what I'm saying. It's more than just having sex and feeling good. Sex is just so much more than that. And sex is not a bad word, so we need to stop acting like, ooh, we don't want to say that in church. No, we got to talk about it. Because our kids are doing it. They do it. And people losing their life. God gave me a book and I'm going to write it. I'll tell y'all about it later. Get the book. But it's deep. Sex is deep. That 3-letter word is deep. Amen. It accounts for 95% of the problems that society have today. Yeah? Okay. But how many of y'all know freedom is not for free? Amen. Freedom, the root of the word freedom is free, but it ain't for free. It's going to cost you everything. Getting something for nothing is non-existent. So we have to drop the mentality that somebody owe you freedom. Somebody owe you freedom. General Michael Aon said, any existence deprived of freedom is a kind of death. Any existence deprived of freedom is a kind of death. So we all die, but you must decide if you're going to die bond or you're going to die free. Wow. We all going to die, but in what state you going to die in? You going to die still bound or you going to die free? As Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, those who fought in World War I, II, and III, what did it cost for us to have our natural freedom today? Your Bill of Rights, the 10 Amendments, the freedom of speech, press, religion, petitions, the right to bear arms, conditions of quarters for soldiers, the right of search and seizure, provisions concerning prosecution, the right to a speedy trial, the right to a trial by jury. We all got those rights. We all got those freedoms. Why? Because somebody else paid the price. Yeah. That wasn't free. The right to vote, that wasn't free. Your freedom of speech, that ain't free. But we can understand that in the natural realm. You don't have a right to something that you're not willing to pay the price for. Come on. As these people, how much courage did they have to go against the grain? Martin Luther King, he went against the grain. Rosa Parks, she went against the grain. What if she would have said, okay, I'm going to move? See, why we always do that? When the enemy come and tell you to move, why do you move? Why do you move? Why can the enemy persuade you to get out of your place of position? Why can the enemy persuade you to let down your standards? Why can he persuade you to do that? Many of us are not free today because we choose to go with the flow versus go against the grain. Like the pioneers that went before us. What if Harriet Tubman would have just said, oh well, forget the Underground Railroad. We was born slaves, we gonna die slaves. She said, no, I don't care how I was born. I'm not dying no slave. I'm gonna be free. Ain't nobody gonna have control over me. July the 4th, 1776 is the USA's Independence Day. Red, white, and blue. Hey, what's up? Power to red, white, and blue. July the 4th, 1776. Y'all get it? It's USA's Independence Day. But August the 10th, 2013 is your National Independence Day. August the 10th, 2013. What? Is this how y'all gonna respond? I said, this is your National Independence Day. This is the way we can go down in history for you. August the 10th, 2013. That's my National Independence Day. I'm writing my own Emancipation Proclamation today. Dependence, reliance, helplessness, impotence, weak, inadequacy. Anybody tired of feeling like that? Amen. Okay, so why is your freedom always based upon somebody else's freedom? If you're tired of feeling dependent. freedom always based upon somebody else's freedom. So if my bestie saved, I'm saved. Wow. If my friend delivered, then I'm delivered. If my mama go to church, then I'm going to go to church. If my neighbor shout and praise, I'm going to shout and praise. Wow. Why our freedom always based upon what somebody else is doing? Seneca said, he who is brave is free. See, if you want freedom, you got to be brave about it. You can't be no wimp about your freedom. I mean, you can't be no punk about your freedom. You got where my soldiers at? People that really want to be free. People that's not afraid to get on the front line and say, I'm free and I'm not ashamed to be free. Why we got to hide our freedom? Because you don't want your friends to see you free. You don't want no people at your work to know you saved. You hide your Bible. You hide your gospel music. You hide everything, but they get to parade everything out. Offensive and all. They don't care cussing and all, nasty and all. They don't care. They flaunt who they serve. Why we hide who we serve and they flaunt who they serve? What happened to working out your own soul salvation with fear and trembling? In order for us to really be free at last, some of us today gonna have to cut some ties with some people. That's right. You have to cut some ties. You got to get rid of some ties. And you have to get your independence back.
All right, now.
Freedom is the will to be responsible to yourself. You got to be responsible to yourself. You got to hold your own self accountable. Everybody looking for an accountability partner. No, you ain't. You looking for somebody to appease you in your mess. Girl, what you feel like doing anyway? Go on, girl, because if I was in your situation, I'd do it too. No. We gonna own accountability. Because your friend share with you 24/7, but God is. He the best accountability. Because when you think about doing something, think about his eyes. It's in every place. Behold him. Good. I don't know why we don't never think about God as an accountability partner.